If you want a good life, log off, start deciding when you're going to respond, and start putting in your calendar the most important things first and letting everything else fall around that. You have control over this. It may not feel that way right now, and it may take a little bit of time to implement, but I promise you, these are the keys to a happier, more fulfilled life. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. It's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit in inspiration. And this time of year is always the time of year that people are starting to think about what they want in the next year. I know that this is the time for me that I want to make sure that next year is even better than this year, and that I am living more aligned with my purpose, and that I am spending more time with the people that I love the most, and that I am getting fitter, and that I'm getting healthier, and that I'm getting wealthier. And it's not about making yourself more exhausted, but truly about optimizing your decisions and who you are and where your attention is going. So that's what I want today's topic to be about with you, is to start noticing where your attention is going and where you're allowing yourself to get distracted. And I want to be clear that this is not about not enjoying your life. It's about making sure that you are not giving away your time to things that are actually causing more pain later. So if right now you know that one of your big vices is social media or is Netflix or is massive distraction, then this podcast is for you. Because I know for me, one of my biggest distractions is my email and social media. And I can often go down the social media rabbit hole because I know that we all feel like we should be on it more, and we should be researching, and we should be trying to understand it, and we should be commenting back to every single person. But if we're finding that that is not actually helping and is not a needle moving activity to be on there all of the time, which I will tell you it is not, you can dedicate a certain amount of time to social media and you will end up winning more if it's allotted time. And so today I want to ask you, what are some of the things that you know you're getting distracted by the most? I just listened to a really incredible podcast, if you want to dive deeper in on this, with Ed Milet on his show and Brendan Burchard. And they were talking about how to be successful in the busy season. And some of my takeaways from this were and are going to be really life-changing for me. And they were as simple as reminding me about my inboxes being everyone else's agenda. Now, a lot of people will feel like they have to get back to every single text message, every single email, and every single DM. But the busier that I've gotten and the more success that I've experienced, I've learned that successful people actually do not respond on other people's timelines whatsoever. They decide to do once a week or every other day or for 1 hour a day at a certain time. And they teach people how to treat them, right? And when we think of this quote, teach people how to treat you, this goes for how you're going to be responding back to them. So of course, if you have close people in your life, those people are going to get your responses right away. But if you have people who are, let's just say, not in your immediate most important circle, or people who it's just their agenda and they decided to reach out of the blue and ask you for something that was not in your plans and is not something that you want to be doing, they don't require an immediate response. So remembering, teaching people how to treat you is only taught through how you respond back to them. So I was thinking of this the other day because I have been a bit of a slave to my inbox lately, making sure I don't miss anything. And you guys, I do have somebody who is in my inbox all the time, but I feel like I always need to be in there as well. Why? This is just all made up. It's an urgency thing made up by me, worried about what people will think if I don't get back to them. What type of person is that? Oh my gosh, my email sat there for a week. How I can negate this, how I can get through this is by setting an autoresponder that tells them, hey, this is literally when I'm going to respond. If this is super urgent, here is the email that you can reply to. Here is the person that you can talk to. Otherwise, you'll probably only be getting a response from me once a week. Now, once a week is a little less frequent than I would ever normally do, but right now I am building something huge. And if I don't put all of my energy towards this, guess what? It is not going to become what I want at all. And I know for a lot of you, you're in the beginning of figuring it out and building something huge. And you're going to have to figure out some of the places where you are giving your time and energy that you have to pull it back from. And I think a lot of us, even my really close friends who are successful, they'll tell me one of their biggest places is social media and their inbox. So that's something that I want to focus on today is where are you giving your time and energy right now? And I was listening to that podcast again, and Brendon Burchard talked about, he was saying that when you go and get distracted by something, maybe you go check a ping, maybe you go check a text message, maybe you go and check your social media because you were going on there to look for something that you needed and instead you got distracted. That's what it is, right? It's all about just trying to pine for our attention and get it. They have professionals who dedicate their life and career, scientists who dedicate their life and career to distracting you. So you need to be like next level aware of what is trying to get your time and attention and dollars away from the thing that you want to be doing. And I am so aware that I'll go on social media to answer something or go look at a DM that I needed to get a bit of information from or someone that I wanted to work with. And all of a sudden I'm in some rabbit hole watching dog videos. And I'm like, how did this even happen? Like, how did I just watch 20 minutes of cute dog videos? Like, what even happened there? And what he was saying is that these distractions can take 20 minutes or more to reset from. So think of the projects that you have and think of the time and attention that you could have been focusing and getting even more done. So when people think that other people have more time or they're like, I have kids, they don't understand what this looks like. I just think we get way more dialed in during the times that we allot and way less distracted and more focused. And those are the people that are able to pull through. And at this point in my career, I will tell you, I have never been this busy in my entire life. And I have noticed that I have to get more and more focused on who I want to spend time with, on what's really important, on what needles need to be moved, and on what projects really need my focus. Because I will be the first person to admit to you that I am not this person who can work for hours and hours and hours and hours straight all day long. I can work really hot and heavy, really for like short periods of time and move things very quickly. But what I can't do is let myself get distracted and do a little work and get distracted and do a little work and do multiple 10-hour days in a row. Absolutely not. I would rather die. Like that is not how I function. I have to take breaks and then I have to take really focused work. And what happens is when I find myself getting distracted over and over, I elongate my day and I elongate the time in which I have to sit down at my computer and I go freaking crazy. I cannot be sitting at a desk all day for 8 to 10 hours a day. Absolutely not. I have to go do other things. I have to get up. I have to go do in-person podcasts. I have to go do things that are different because my body absolutely rejects the idea of having to sit for long periods of time. But when I distract myself in these other things, that is when I actually am torturing myself and elongating the time in which I'm doing these projects. And you guys, you don't have to work that way. You can work in these pockets if you know when you're going to be doing it. So a couple things that I'm going to be doing.
Hey y'all, I'm so excited to share with you that this podcast, Earn Your Happy, is now a part of the Growth Day Podcast Network. Truly, this is like one of the most exciting things that has ever happened to me. I'm telling you, I no longer feel like I'm doing this alone, and I actually get to collaborate with the people who host the podcast that I'm obsessed with, like that I have been listening to myself, who inspired me to start a podcast, who have taught me about how to go and do the thing, like the original people who got me motivated through listening to their podcasts. You guys, a bunch of us are coming together to bring more more growth to the world and to support shows and brands that we believe in. And one of my friends are also on this network, and I'd love for you to go subscribe to their show. You guys, I just had Danielle Canty on of the Boss Babe podcast. She co-hosts it with her other amazing co-host and one of my friends, Natalie Ellis. You guys, you can go check out that podcast on mine. It's episode 925, and Danielle and I talk all about burnout and how that could be showing up in your life, and most importantly, how to prevent it. But I want to tell you, if you have not gone and checked out the Boss Babe podcast yet, go subscribe, because it is one of the largest online communities for ambitious women and female entrepreneurs. And I know that if you're listening to the show, chances are that's probably you. You guys, they have 3.6 million followers and 380,000 subscribers. The Boss Babe podcast is the place where they share real behind the scenes of building successful businesses, achieving peak performance, and learning how to balance it all. Most of all, you guys, truly, these women are in my life. Danielle and Natalie are people that I text on a weekly, monthly basis when I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel stuck. What should I do? I tune into their podcast, you guys, to learn. Even though they're my friends, I am still like crazy obsessed with this podcast because I learn something new every single time I listen. It makes me be a better podcaster. It makes me be a better businesswoman. It just makes me be better and more confident out in the world because they're so real and raw. And I can tell you that in the moments where I have had horrible days, down days, I've either gone and listened to this podcast or I've texted them, because these are the people who truly get it. You want to listen to the people who are walking in the same footsteps that you are. You guys, go check out the Boss Babe podcast. You're not going to be sorry. And it's just going to like make you way smarter and you're going to have way more fun. So go check it out.
I will not be missing workouts anymore. I've been really diligent with it and I got really good with it a couple months ago. But lately, when life got super busy, the first thing that I did was say, okay, I'm not going to miss my walks, which I don't. That's like, I cannot miss a walk. It is so wired like into my DNA that I need that for my mental health and clarity. And my dogs need it. My husband needs it. My relationship needs it. So I will never sacrifice that. But I need to be lifting. I am getting older. I don't want to lose muscle. I want to maintain my health, my metabolism, and most importantly, my strength. I want to be wake surfing when I'm 70. I want to be snowboarding when I'm 80. Like, these are really, really important things to me. Chris and I still want to have kids. Like, I want to absolutely be that person who can run around for a long period of time. And if I'm going to do that, that is going to mean that I am going to have to lift weights and stay strong. So I am prioritizing lifting weights and putting that in my schedule and making sure that is in there and that I cannot miss that. And everything is also going to go around that. I'm also prioritizing friend time. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but I do need to see some of my really good friends every single month. And why is this important to me? Because I am better and have better mental health. I am so much happier. And I come up with far better business ideas when I am around these people. In fact, I have a lot more help because they are the people who I riff with, the people who come to my aid, the people who are willing to show up for me because I show up for them with this valuable friend time. And that is so important to me. So everything else will also fall around that. The other thing that I'm going to start to implement is dedicated time that I'm going to check my emails. In this season, I may be putting my autoresponder on and saying that I reply twice a week. I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet. I'm going to sit down and do it today. And I am going to dedicate certain times in my schedule when I will be checking that because I am so distracted by my email. The other thing is that I have a team who helps me respond back on social media. And this has been one of the biggest game changers for me by letting me know what I need to see, what I need to look at, and also having people be present on that so that I'm not constantly distracted, feeling like everybody needs a response from me. I'm also letting it be okay if I don't respond to everything. So these are some of the things that I am integrating. I am going to be turning off my phone during certain work sessions where I know that I need to get really focused. And also, because I've been so incredibly busy, a lot of my reading time and where I would be learning and personal development time has been cut into. So I don't feel like I'm getting all the fresh ideas that I want. So having that time back in the morning where I am getting more disciplined with making sure that I'm reading or listening to a podcast has been something that I know that I need to get back into and putting it in my calendar again, like I used to have it. So I hope that this helps you guys just eliminate a few distractions. I know for me, allowing myself to let it be okay to not respond to everybody's beck and call. And just because it's a demand in your DM or in your email or in your text messages does not mean that it's something urgent that you have to respond back to. And I think the most successful people have this realization that just because someone else wants something does not mean that you are supposed to respond to it. One other thing that I absolutely love that Ed Milet said is he teaches his friends or anyone, his clients, whomever, that they can't send voice notes over 1 minute on anything, on Instagram, on DMs, on anything. And this taught me a lot because sometimes I'll send voice notes to people and I realize that if it's someone who's very, very busy, it might be better for me to write out a text or keep that voice note under 1 minute. Because think of it, if they got so many of these voice notes throughout the day, maybe 10 people are voice noting them, maybe 30, maybe 50. Number one, it's going to put you as low priority because a lot of times I can't listen to the voice notes from wherever I'm at. And I also don't want to spend the time doing it, especially if it's not urgent. And this also helped me realize, how can I train people to be quicker and to the point with me? And also, how can I be quicker and to the point with the important people in my life that I know are busy so that I am not someone who's robbing time from their day? And I think this is important as we start to work with people who are at a higher success rate, at a place where they are much busier, more in demand, right? How can I help out those people? So I hope that this helps you. I hope that this helps your schedule. I hope that in 2024, you realize that you have more control than you know. It might just feel chaotic in the beginning, but other people's agendas and the way that things are coming into our inboxes does not have to control your life. And social media does not have to rob you of your time. It does not have to manipulate you, even though that is what its job literally is, if we can set these really, really healthy boundaries. If you want a good life, log off, start deciding when you're going to respond, and start putting in your calendar the most important things first and letting everything else fall around that. You have control over this. It may not feel that way right now, and it may take a little bit of time to implement, but I promise you, these are the keys to a happier, more fulfilled life. So you guys, I'm sending you so much love. And if you have not gone and grab your Glossy yet. In fact, I'm not sure if we're even going to have anything left from this first batch because we did order a small run on the first order because we want to have you guys be our very first beta group of this incredible product that we are so excited about, that we have formulated with so much love and out of a need that I wanted and that I knew that my friends had, to have beautiful, amazing, glowing skin, but also feel lighter, to feel less bloated, and to make sure that we were doing the one habit a day that we felt really in control of. And that was just doing something simple and drinking your water. Like, water is the foundation of everything in our body. So hoping that this helps you drink more water and has so many benefits for your gut health, your skin, your immunity. And knowing that this one little thing can be the domino that starts a positive effect for everything else in your day. Just this moment of intention of doing something for you. So you guys go to getglossy.com. I'm not even sure if we have any at the time of this podcast because I know that we were getting really, really low until our order comes back again in January when we actually have official products. So this is pre-sale right now that I'm talking to you. So if you want to go get that pre-sale for $1 down and your card charges when it ships out, go and check that out right now. If you've ever gotten value from this podcast, that would mean the world to me to have support within this company because there are so many cool things coming down the pipeline for you, like absolutely mind-blowing things, I promise you. I am dedicating my life to creating one of the coolest communities that supports women. So I'm sending you guys so much love. If you want to be a part of that community, you do need to order because that is going to be how I'm going to be communicating with you and also all the cool things that are coming down the pipeline. So you guys, until next time, earn your happy. Bye, everyone.
Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. And I want to make sure that you have my phone number, and I'm not kidding. Did you know that I have a community text number? For real. My phone number is 310-496-8363. This goes directly to my phone. All you have to do is text the word daily to 310-496-8363. And I literally text you every single day, Monday through Friday. I actually just got done 30 seconds ago texting a bunch of people back, and I talk to you all of the time. You guys, people always ask me how I got my community text number and how it works. Well, all you have to do is you can just go to community.com and get your own. Community makes it easy to get a phone number that you can use to build your audience using text. People just text you at your number and they're added to your group. Then you can text them out audios, video links, anything you want. You guys, I text out happy birthday videos. I love to send podcast links, thoughts about life, book recommendations, different events that I'm doing in the local area. Texting gets me out of the noise of social media and directly into your hand. And now you can start texting your people too. Just go to community.com to get your phone number. They give you a 10-digit real phone number, not those weird short codes that look like spam, but it's more than a phone number. Your new number comes with an inbox for SMS and texting. This means you can actually manage your text list from your computer and an app on your phone. You can schedule text to send at certain times and to certain groups. You can even set up auto replies or let your assistant or customer service team answer your text messages via Community's awesome dashboard. Just go to community.com and ask for a free demo. They'll show you how it works and get you your number. It's time to start texting your audience versus just posting on social media. Everyone uses Community for that. So go check them out at community.com. I can tell you it's not just great for communicating with my audience, but Chris and I use Community and our texts to also sell out our launches. I'm telling you, you get such an incredible response because you really are creating a true, deep sense of community. And it's so intimate. It's freaking amazing. Go check it out at community.com. Hey, I know if you're listening to this podcast that you have big dreams and big goals. And one of the things that can really stop you is struggling with your marketing. Trust me, I have been there. Are you using 10 different systems just to build your online business? Then I want you to try Kajabi. Kajabi helps you build your web pages, set up funnels, and sell your courses, content, coaching, or communities. You've been hearing me talk a lot about funnels on this podcast and the importance of your email list. You can get a free trial at kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com. I've talked about Kajabi before, but here's something that's super cool and new. They just rolled out an AI assistant for creating your online course curriculum. And this means you just type in a topic that you want to create on a course or webinar and bam, it just generates a sample outline for you. It takes a ton of the hard work away. Of course, you're going to customize it to be your own, but this really helps you get over the struggle of how in the world to start, which is where most people stop. If you're like me, starting is always the hardest part, and that's what makes Kajabi so popular. They've made it easier for creators to build web pages, build courses, build coaching programs, build membership sites, build checkout pages, and build email funnels. So if you're struggling with any of those, you got to go check it out. Go to kajabi.com. Kajabi was really the first all-in-one system and is trusted by over 100,000 creators. I think that's good enough for me. Also has influencers and marketers who use this. And now their smart AI platform makes it easy to take what you know and turn it into an online course and business. Go start building with a free trial at kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com.